If you are looking at going on your very first MSC sailing, you've probably seen a lot of people talking about their food. I'm not going to talk about their food today. What I'm going to talk about, though, is things that you can look at other than the food. When I'm evaluating cruise lines, when I'm looking at what I like, what I enjoy, food is one component of that. There's plenty of content on MSC's food out there. Check it out. There's plenty. But I'm going to talk about the other sides of going on the cruise ship that I really value, that I like, and honestly, that I think MSC does a fantastic job. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every single weekend. And MSC is very quickly becoming one of my favorite cruise lines. And is doing that for a lot of reasons that I wanted to talk with you about because I think they get lost in the mix somehow. The first one, their theater shows. I love the singers and dancers and the production shows that they do on board MSC. They've got tons of different varieties. They've got these large LED screens in the back. Their vocalists are absolutely amazing, and they're singing songs that everybody knows, and they turn out to be a little bit of a rock concert or a sing-along. It is so engaging, their concerts or their performances that they're putting on. I consider them concerts because it kind of feels like you go to a concert. I also have never seen more standing ovations during the show and after the show than I do on MSC sailings, which this is not me saying that other cruise lines have bad shows, but what I'm saying is the shows on MSC somehow or another better resonate with the viewers, with the audience. They're more engaged, there's more energy, and they bring it to life, so much so that they're getting a ton of standing ovations. They also do a great job with musicians throughout the ship. At any given time, you're going to see 3 or 4 different musicians that are playing throughout. You're going to have pianists, you're going to have jazz, you're going to have Latin, you're going to have a country music. There's been country music going on a cruise ship. I have never heard of country music on a cruise ship other than here on MSC. They've got all sorts of different tastes and styles. You just got to walk around the ship. Even on the Magnifica, which is only like 95,000 gross tons, it is small. They're going to have like 3 or 4 different musicians playing in their different bars. You just got to find what works best for you, and I guarantee there's going to be something that does. Let's talk about the activities that they have, and I'll use MSC Magnifica as an example. That's where I've been most frequently. They do a lot of the same activities you're going to find on other cruise lines. What I am finding is that the people here, somehow they're more engaged. I think because they're doing their activities in centralized locations. So in a main hallway, they do them here on the Magnifica in the Tiger Lounge. There is huge engagement. I've never seen more people show up for these game shows. So you've got the yes-no game show, you've got bingo, you've got majority rules, a lot of things that you're accustomed to seeing on other cruise lines, but with a lot more people, a lot more energy are doing it. And honestly, it makes it more fun. When you go to some of the activities on other ships and there's like 20 people in the room, it's really tough to pull off a game show with high energy because you just don't have that many people to pull from. But MSC does a really good job of this. The third one, and this is a really big thing for me personally, is the MSC Marine Reserve Ocean Key is absolutely beautiful. It has very quickly become my absolute favorite private island. It is beautiful. It's got sand. You can hear the water. They've got amazing ice cream that they have there. It is untouched for the most part. They haven't done a lot of changes to it. And it feels like you are on an exotic private island and not an amusement park. I know that that is all the rage for a lot of people. They love an amusement park style of a private island, and that's where a lot of cruise lines are moving to. But I really, really love Ocean Key. There's places I can get to myself. I can read a book. I've got palm trees going. Oh, it's just amazing. And the fourth one here is actually a pretty big deal. One reason that I absolutely, coming as often as I do, really like MSC is the cost. The affordability factor of MSC is actually really good. It is a lower price than everything else without being a lower tier. I do not feel like it is a lower tier than the other mass markets. I feel like it is right in line with them. And in some places, like I'm talking about here, I feel like they actually do an even better job than some of the other cruise lines that are charging significantly more. So if you're looking at coming on to a cruise, if you're doing a 7-day, if you're doing a weekend cruise, make sure you are price checking out what MSC is compared to the others. You might be surprised that you could save thousands sometimes by opting to bring your family on MSC versus going on one of the other cruise lines. And for us solo cruisers, you're also going to find that they're not really jiving it to us with this 250% and 300% single supplement and sticking it to the solo cruiser. Yes, if you wait to the last moment, you might not be able to get it, but I have found some really good deals here for solo cruisers. You just got to keep your eyes open. The fifth one here, and this kind of ties into number 3 a little bit, is you're going to get longer times in port. So with Ocean Key being my absolute favorite private island to go to, we get to stay there a really long time here on MSC. So you're either going to do an overnight there, or you're probably going to be staying there till about 7:30 in the evening, which is fantastic. Last weekend we went there. We didn't go there this weekend because weather canceled it like it did for many cruise lines. But we stayed until 7:30. I got off the ship like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, went out, enjoyed the late night or late afternoon, got to see the sun start to set and just relax and read my book and have an amazing time while people were coming back to the ship to have dinner. I love being able to stay there late and really take advantage of a late afternoon experience on a private island. We were also in Key West, and even here, we stayed an hour or 2 longer than I've normally stayed on other cruise lines. So all aboard was not until 5:30 in the afternoon. Key West is, again, one of my favorite places that a weekend cruise out of Florida can go to. It's an awesome spot, plenty to do, and by being able to stay there until 5:30 and not rush is a huge win. And the sixth and last thing that I'll mention is, you know what, MSC has weekend sailing. It's my absolute favorite. I am here on the weekend, and I am loving it. It's where I'm recording from today. And so if you're looking and going, I'm still not sure that I can, Brandon, you made a lot of good points. There's a lot of good things happening on MSC, but I'm still really worried about the food. Coming on a weekend sailing will give you a quick 3-night journey to see, hey, is this really something that is going to bother me, or can I look past this and really enjoy the rest of the experience here on MSC? Or maybe you even find the food's not as bad as everybody's made it out to be, and it's actually halfway decent. And for the value and the price, hey, like you could do this again. So again, if you're on the fence, if you're looking at maybe a longer sailing, but because you can save a good amount of money, which we talked about earlier, check out a weekend first, see what's happening, get the feel of MSC, and see if it's something you want to commit to for a longer sailing, knowing that, you know what, there's a lot more to the food, and the food, honestly, might not have even been that bad in the first place. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.